Hello everyone, and welcome to our shorts. My name is Corey, and you all know Sick Kyle, because regular Kyle is being a...
Hey, dude.
I thought you were sick.
What the fuck is going on? I thought this was a one-time thing. You're a dick.
Welcome to our shorts.
Shit.
I'm Corey.
I'm Kyle.
Regular Kyle.
Regular Kyle. Not sick.
We let
Kyle.
him back on show. Liam gave him permission to come back. I think we're going to put a poll up on the site and say which do you prefer, Sick Kyle, regular Kyle, or Liam. And then we'll proceed accordingly.
Will it be a stripper pole?
All right. So today we're going to do Black Swan. So I was going to actually do Black Swan while Kyle was sick, and he threatened murder and death. So
Bodily harm.
bodily harm. So we waited, and we're going to do Black Swan. If you came here to see Black Swan, just kind of play through and us watch it, that's not going to happen. Mm-hmm. We're gonna kind of break through this one because, from what we understand, it's got some pretty deep meaning to it. So we will go ahead and jump right into it because it could take a little while. Mm-hmm. That's some of my nails.
Mm.
Did you ever notice that says music and artists for healing?
Yeah.
I never noticed that.
I think Lindsay mentioned that when we did one with her.
심장이 뛰지 않는데 너는 음악을 들을 때 또 shine up to the 시간이 멈춘 듯해 Oh that will be my first thing I'll be nowhere so fighter 이게 나를 더 못 들린다면 내가 숨을 더 떨리게 못한다면 어쩜 이렇게 한번 죽겠지 아마 But what if the moment's right now
Okay.
So
Good.
first of all, I love that, Jungkook opened up the jam.
Oh. Yes, JK did open up. That was his voice at the beginning. I got something. Hold on a second.
What'd you
I've
get?
been waiting for this to give this a here. So while I was in North Carolina, I was at I always try to go to a thrift shop or a antique shop and look for vinyls, and there was a section with like toys and dolls, and we were looking stuff for my daughter, and I was like, "Is that a BTS member?"
Sure
and I looked
is.
up, and it was the only one they had, and it was JK.
Yeah,
and I was like, "Oh,
and they're young on the back of this one.
what was that?"
They look young on the back of this.
Yeah. So he actually didn't know that he was going to get it. I did send him a picture of it. I was like, I'm getting this for you. He was like, whatever. And so I brought
I thought
it
he was
home.
kidding.
Yeah.
Thanks,
yeah.
man.
Okay.
That's awesome.
Jake, stand right there.
There we go.
Make sure he doesn't block you.
What I love both but while we're talking about it, I love both what Suga and Arm were talking about, because from what I understand with this video, it's about fears of artists not being able to, or like their craft dying out, not being able to perform, not being able to write music anymore, and what it would feel like, or something like along those lines. And they're talking about dying
Yeah.
because they can no longer do what they love.
Yeah, and I think that this is relatable by anybody in any art.
Mm-hmm.
Like, so I know that Lindsay, who you've seen on our shows, has done this before, and she told us about the video, and she was like, it made her drew her to tears because she relates to it as dancing, right? So what if I couldn't dance anymore, right? And that's like the first death, which is what he was talking about.
Yeah.
And for me, it'd be like, what if I couldn't write anymore? What if there was no muse and I just couldn't think of anything and the words just wouldn't come and I just stared at a blank screen all day long? Like it would drive me insane. And then yours would probably be with music. Like,
Oh yeah, 100%.
what if you couldn't pick up the bass guitar anymore, right? If you couldn't write music anymore, right? So
I've had close calls where I've gotten so frustrated that I could no longer play, and it sounds dramatic, but I went like, it was like going through the stages of death. Like I got really pissed. I was trying to blame everything else on everybody else,
the 7 stages of grief or something.
Yeah. And I got super sad and depressed, and I didn't touch my bass for like 3 months. It was depressing, but it was one of those things. It was all me, but it just, the more I thought about it, the more like kind of in a downward spiral I started to go, and it was just really, it sucked. And so anyway.
I don't feel like I hear from V enough.
No, I mean,
At least we haven't watched from
Yeah. Nice.
J-Hope.
자꾸 초점을 잃어 이제 너한테 싫어 차라리 내 맘 녹아게 내가 뛰어들어갈게 가장 깊은 곳에서 나는 날 봤어 천천히 난 눈을 떠 여기 나의 작업실 내 스튜디오 파도 깜깜하게 나를 스쳐줘 절대 끌려가지 않을 거야 다시 또 inside 아슴아슴아슴 귓가에 빠른 심장 소리만 뻔뻔뻔 두 눈을 뜨고 나의 숲으로 점점점 그것도 내 삼킬 순 없어 힘껏 내 소리 질러 모든 빛을 침묵하는 바닥에 길 잃은 내 발목을 또 잡아 어떤 소리도 들리지 않아 Killing me now do you hear me 홀린 듯 천천히 가라앉아 나 몸부림쳐 봐도 사방이 바닥나 모든 순간들이 영원히 돼 Feeling me now do you hear me
You know what's interesting? As I'm watching the lyrics go by, I don't. So when we did our research, it really was a lot of people like, this is talking about them losing the ability or somebody losing the ability of some type of art. But I think that this could be a lot of things. I mean, they're talking about, drowning. I mean, not like physically drowning, but like it could be I'm drowning in stress. I'm drowning in
Work.
I'm
Anything.
I'm drowning in all of these emotions. I don't know what to do.
Yeah.
And so that I think this could be completely relatable to more people that don't have some type of art background, dance background, music background, whatever.
I know that there are 2 videos for this, and I know that the first video was like an interpretive, like very like intense dance, and I know that the second video, this video here that we're watching, was released without announcement. And this was the first single off of
It's just Map of the Soul.
Map of the Soul 7. Yeah, and one thing about this video that I really 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 enjoy, because when you said Black Swan, I'm like, oh, like the movie,
Right.
And because I'm a big fan of Darren Aronofsky, I'm like a really big fan, because that my last band that I was in, we performed a set entirely to a muted playback of Pi, which is a Darren Aronofsky black and white film, which is phenomenal. And it was funny how like sometimes the hits in our songs would match up with certain things that are happening. But I love because it's not blatant. It's just, but yeah, there's absolute inspiration from that. One, they're on a dance, a big theater. In Black Swan's it's a ballet and everything like that. So yeah, I love how it takes each of the members and it shows each of the members going through different types of situations. And I don't remember who it was that sprouted the wings. I don't know if that was. Was it? I was going to say, was it J-Hope or I can't remember who it was. I'd have to see it again.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's
full of symbols.
Yeah.
This entire, and I'm sure that the actual dance video is nothing but symbolic also.
Yeah. But I really, really like this video and I love this song. I really love this song because I think this is probably maybe the third time I've heard this song.
Yeah.
And it's just, it's really friggin' good. So anyway. That's so awesome.
I mean, what do you think that ending means? I mean, because he's watching the shadow sink away, and it felt like some of the video they were fighting with themselves.
They're fighting against their own shadows.
Yeah.
I mean, you've heard boxing underwater or fighting your own shadow. And I think I don't remember there was one member that was I think quite literally battling with their shadow, and the whole symbolism between the light and the dark. I mean, you can see that they went from wearing white suits to wearing black suits. Right. And it just... Well,
I mean, that is like the whole Darren film, Black Swan, is two different dancers.
Mm-hmm. It's I don't know, it's such a cool concept. And that video is absolutely gorgeous. And I don't know. Every time we watch something together, I feel like oh, wow, this is my favorite thing that they've done. And I'm not going to say that this is my favorite, but it is absolutely up there.
We keep getting told to go back and watch some of their older things. And this is technically older. I mean, I guess it's not the oldest thing that they've done. But it's super mature for lack of better words, for a boy band.
Right.
Whether they're a boy band or not. But I mean, you would never...
So this is mature for people that have been around playing for 50 years. Right. You know what I mean?
When you think about like... If you just go out and random people and you say BTS, and they're going to be like, oh yeah, Dynamite, or Butter, or maybe Permission to Dance, but they'll relate to those two songs that are really, really big on the radio. It's the same thing back in the day when you did like New Kids on the Block, or NSYNC, or Backstreet Boys. They relate them to these really, really big songs. And I'm going back through the discography because when I was growing up and you were growing up, it was New Kids on the Block.
Yeah.
And I can't think of any like really deep, meaningful songs that they had.
It's because I mean,
even going back and listening to them now because they're still performing, right? They still do concerts. And so I've still heard their music before. And even sometimes I'll put together like an early 90s playlist. Sorry about that. We actually had a glitch with the camera. So we were talking about the maturity of, well, I don't see how we left off. Soft, yeah. So I think we were talking about like New Kids on the Block. Yeah. I mean, yeah. Ultimately, I think I've said it before. This is way over the heads of the younger group, and I can appreciate that.
Yeah.
And then, I mean, I don't know. Is there any other music that they've done that is even close to this, though? I mean, not that we've heard so far.
Yeah. I mean, when dealing with like music or even music videos, music more often than not, I love it when groups will write something that's makes you feel one thing, and then the lyrics make you feel something else. And I love it when bands do that to fuck with you. Like I think my favorite example is there's two actually. One is "Every Breath You Take" by The Police. because I can't tell you how many times I've heard people talk about how, oh, it's such a beautiful song.
Yeah, no, it's not.
We played it at my wedding. We danced to it. I'm like, you serious? This song's about a fucking stalker. And it kills me. I love ruining that for people. And apparently, I'm pretty sure I'm probably going to ruin it for a few people on this channel. So sorry, not sorry.
Yeah, the song's about a stalker.
Yeah, but I mean, think about it. You know, every breath you take,
I'll be
every
watching
move you make, I'll be watching you. I'm like, dude,
Something else I think I really appreciated about the song, it was super simplistic. The not the lyrics wise, but the music itself.
Yeah.
Was it a harpsichord maybe?
What are you talking about?
And the ding, ding, ding.
You're talking? Are we going back to
yeah.
BTS?
Yeah, BTS.
Okay, so it sounded like a lo-fi guitar.
Maybe, but it was super simplistic.
Oh yeah, it works. It
Right.
really, really, really works, and I loved it. But yeah, it's very, it's a very like haunting kind of thing, and
Right.
it's funny because like you go through and you read stuff about whatever it is that you're looking into. I know it's in D minor, and the reason why that stuck out to me is because I always think anytime I see D minor, I think of Toccata and Fugue in D minor, which is a Johann Sebastian Bach thing. But it's a very like D1 is a very dark type of key
Right.
anyway, but when you're in D minor, it's definitely can have that, and it is a very simplistic progression. It's nothing complicated, but it doesn't have to be complicated.
No,
It gets
and I think that worked.
it gets the message through, and I think it helps with the somber tone of it, and the guitar that you were talking about is it's the first thing I noticed, other than JK's voice. It's
Right.
the first thing I noticed. Because even his part at the beginning, and it's kind of sprinkled out throughout, it's very like lo-fi. It's very kind of like in the background. There's definitely some effects on it that give it like an auto-tune thing. Even I know. Trust me, I know that JK can sing like a mother. But it adds to it. It's
Yeah.
just like all these elements that are kind of pulled back that help to shape the song, and then whoever is singing or rapping or whatever is right in the front, and it's just a neat thing to kind of pull back and forth. One of the favorite things that I like to do is have like, and there's a couple of songs from favorite bands like A Perfect Circle or Nine Inch Nails that do it, where they start out with like lo-fi drums, where you can, it almost bugs you when you first hear it because it's not completely clear, and then everything is kind of like muted and subtle, and they use that, and then like there's certain songs, and I can't remember. I'm not gonna. It doesn't matter. But like they'll bring in and take out the lo-fi and bring in everything perfectly, and
Yeah.
it helps to like. It's just like you can't imagine that you were listening to it in lo-fi before.
Yeah, I think
it's a neat effect.
I think Billie Eilish did that with one of her most recent songs, where her voice and the instruments were super like way back.
Yeah.
Like almost in a large room, almost an echo feel, but old timey radio kind of feel. And
Yeah.
then as the song went on, they bring her forward along with the extra instruments.
It's cool. I love that stuff.
If you've stuck with us, thank you. Sorry about the little glitch. We tried to kind of pick up where we had left off at. Yeah, we'd love to hear some more recommendations that are along this vein. A little bit more deep meaning. Maybe have some deep meaning for you. And yeah, let us know what you think. I am Corey.
I'm not sick, Kyle. Fuck that guy.
This is JK. Y'all saw him push him down.
I did push him down, but not like in a weird way. Just I could see in the playback camera that he was really blurry, and I'm like, oh, that's got to be distracting as shit.
Oh, well, he was blurry the whole time?
The whole time, yeah, just like putting him up,
Oh, yeah.
yeah,
That's because he should be back here.
with me.
Right, he should be right.
Shit. Oh, I do want to mention that even though Corey was carrying on when I was ill, and the videos were really nice, and I know I told you that they were really nice, and I love seeing Liam doing his thing because Liam's great. But I do want to give a special thank you to anybody that wished me, whatever. It was nice.
It was nice.
It made my day.
And
And
I
some
wanna
of
give
you
us-
I responded to, some of you I missed, and
I want to give a special thank you to all the people like Kyle. Liam was a great replacement for Kyle.
yeah, that was a good one. I like that. Like, oh, Liam's so cute. Fuck Kyle.
All right, we're going. Peace.
Peace.